Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your salah and your du'as. Just a reminder, right after the sunnah, inshallah ta'ala, we have our own Dr. Siddiqi will be going over a presentation of Hajj, or call it a virtual tour of Hajj, and going over the significance of some of the places where the Hujjaj go to in the rituals of Hajj, and why do they perform it, and the significance behind it. So we have a picture presentation, and also he's going to be explaining it. So please stay, inshallah ta'ala. Obviously, these are days that are very virtuous, so the first days of Dhul Hijjah, and so inshallah you'll get rewarded, obviously, for being here in the masjid. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. And also just a reminder that tomorrow's Yawm al-Arafah, inshallah ta'ala. Salat al-Aisha is at 9:15. So inshallah the time has changed. But what I was saying is tomorrow's Yawm al-Arafah, inshallah ta'ala, everyone's reminded to fast that day if you can. And there's going to be an iftar here at the masjid. It'll be $5 per person for the iftar, so please participate in that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. The sisters would like to sit in the main hall so you could see the PowerPoint. There'll be some chairs put in the corner for you all. Because of the PowerPoints, the projector's on one side of the room. We have to move the brothers over a little bit, so my apologies for that.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. So, as you know that Hajj is a pillar of Islam. It is one of the obligations for those who can afford it. And Hajj is performed at there are certain rules of Hajj that were given to us by the Prophet ﷺ according to the Sunnah. So Hajj is performed at a particular time, in a particular place, in a particular way. You can visit Mecca at any time. That will not be Hajj, but it has to be Al-Hajj wa Ashhurun Ma'lumat. You have to go into the months of Hajj and perform the Hajj at the time of Hajj. And it is performed in Mecca and its surroundings. You cannot go to any other place. You cannot go to Medina and perform Hajj. Even though Medina is beautiful, Medina is very important, but Hajj is not in Medina. Hajj is in Mecca and its surrounding areas. And Hajj is certain rules, certain regulations. I'm not going to talk about the rules and regulations of Hajj. Inshallah, when you go to Hajj, we'll talk about that. At that time, we can give you a more detailed itinerary of Hajj. What I'm going to talk about is that the places where the Hajj is performed. And these are the places called Makkah, Mina, Arafat, Muzdalifah, and then Mina. So first thing you know that Hajj is a very ancient tradition. Hajj was not started by the Prophet ﷺ. It started by Ibrahim alayhi salam, and Ibrahim alayhi salam was in 2100 BC. That means 2100 years, 1900 years before Isa alayhi salam. And between Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Isa alayhi salam is 600 years. So that means 2500 years. So 2500 years before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hajj started. And now, for 1500 years have passed, so it's like 4000 years old tradition. So it's one of the oldest tradition of pilgrimage that you have that. And Hajj is performed, first of all, in Mecca. And Mecca is the oldest place on this earth. Oldest place. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the heaven and the earth, before He created human beings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down the angels and they established Kaaba in Mecca. So Kaaba was not built by Ibrahim alayhi salam. It was rebuilt by Ibrahim alayhi salam. Kaaba was built by the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even before Adam alayhi salam came to the earth. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna awwala baytin wudi'a linnas lalladhi bi Bakkah. And Makkah has many names. One of the names is Makkah, mentioned in the Quran, Surah Al-Fath. And Bibatni Makkah. The other name for Makkah is, Makkah means a place of gathering, where people gather in large number. Another name of Makkah is Bakka. And then you have, that is the ayah about Bakka. So one of the names is Bakka. Bakka is valley in the old language, but Bakka means valley. One of the names of Makkah is Al-Baladul Amin. والتين والزيتون وطور السنين وهذا البلد الأمين. That is safe city. That's the name of Mecca. And Mecca is also mentioned in the Bible. It is called Paran, or the wilderness of Paran. In the book of Exodus and other places you have that. So it is mentioned, it is, as I said, it's the oldest place. So this was for a long time. And then Kaaba was there, and various generations have passed. And then came the time of Nuh alayhi salam. Nuh alayhi salam was probably 400 years before Ibrahim alayhi salam. So Nuh alayhi salam came in the area that is today you have Syria and Turkey, around that area, and he preached the message for 900 years, 950 years, but not too many people accepted him. So he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to destroy the people. A flood came, and this flood was all over. So it is mentioned that when the flood came, it also came to Mecca. Then there are two traditions. One tradition says that at the time of the flood, Kaaba was destroyed because of the flood. Another tradition says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the angels and they lifted the Kaaba up. And Kaaba was taken up from the earth. After that, 400 years later, after Nuh alayhi salam, came Ibrahim alayhi salam. And you know the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. He was sent to the area that is now known as Jerusalem and the Canaan, and he went to Egypt and all of this. He was born in Iraq, Ur, and then he traveled, and he was in the western part of Palestine. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him a son. His name was Ismail. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to him, take your wife and your son to a place, to a valley. And this valley is Southern Valley, the valley of Paran, the valley of Faran, valley of Mecca. So he came and he brought his wife Hajra and his son Ismail, and he settled them there. At that time there was nothing. So he said, رَبَّنَا إِنِّي أَسْكَنْتُ مِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِي بِوَادٍ غَيْرِ ذِي زَرْعٍ عِنْدَ بَيْتِكَ الْمُحَرَّمِ. Oh Allah, I brought my family here in a valley that has no vegetables, no cultivation, because Mecca is a dry land. There was nothing in that area at that time. So he brought the family there, and he left the family. And then you know the story that Ismail's mother was looking for water. There was no water there. So she ran between Safa and Marwa. Inshallah, we'll talk about that. So she ran between Safa and Marwa, and then she saw suddenly that the water was bubbling from the feet of Ismail. And she came, she said, Zam, 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 Zam. So that's Zamzam. So there was water, and here was the family, and then other people saw that there is water in that area, so they came and joined them and asked Hajra, can we be here? Can we stay here? She said, yes, but water belongs to me. It's not that you take over the water. They said, yeah, you can drink water, but you cannot own it. So they stayed there, and this is the way how Ismail grew up in that. And later, Ibrahim alayhi salam came, and Ibrahim and Ismail, both of them built the Kaaba. So Kaaba was built in that place where the Kaaba was at the time of Adam alayhi salam. وَإِذْ بَوَّأْنَا لِإِبْرَاهِيمَ مَكَانَ الْبَيْتِ أَلَّا تُشْرِكْ بِي شَيْئًا. We showed Ibrahim the place of the house. So it was in that place that Ibrahim alayhi salam built the house. It was a small house that Ibrahim alayhi salam built, and this house remained for a long time. Other people came after Ibrahim alayhi salam, and they built and rebuilt and did some repairs, and it continued like that until the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the 6th century of the Common Era. So Mecca started growing. Still, it was a small town. And Ibrahim alayhi salam prayed for the city of Mecca. In two places he mentioned that. In one place he said the city was not there. So he said, Rabbi al-Hada baladan aminan. Wallah, make this a safe city. So it was not a city, so he prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rabbi al-Hada baladan aminan. Warduq ahlahu min as-samarat. In Surah Ibrahim he said, Rabbi al-Hada al-balada aminan. So there is a difference between one and the other. One reference is when the city was not established. The second is the city is established. So make this city safe. And the first say, make this a safe city. That means city is not there, so make this a safe city. In the other one he says, make this city safe. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped that city grow, and more people were living there, and the Kaaba was established. And when the Kaaba was established, then after that, you know the story that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Ibrahim alayhi salam, that he saw in his dream that he was sacrificing something that is most beloved to him. And he interpreted that this was his son. So he spoke to his son, he said, Ya bunayya inni ara fil manam, my son, I saw in my dream that I am sacrificing you. So what is your opinion? And the son was agreeing. He said, do whatever is you're told, what Allah tells you. And so Ibrahim alayhi salam took his son for the sacrifice, but as he was almost going to sacrifice him, call came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Saddaqta ru'ya. Stop. You have fulfilled what you saw in your dream. Inna kadhalika najzil muhsinin wa fadaynahu bizibhin azim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him a lamb and he sacrificed the lamb. And that is the tradition that we are going to have. When we have the Eid al-Adha on Sunday, that is the tradition of that. So you have this story of the city of Mecca. The city of Mecca is called al-Qura. This is the mother of the cities. One of the names also is mentioned in the Quran, al-Qura. And Kaaba is al-Bayt al-Atiq. Kaaba is the old house. And this old house is the house for the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now Arabs, even though they honored Ibrahim alayhi salam and they loved him, but they forgot his message of Tawheed. Arabs were in the beginning were people of Tawheed, they only believed in one God. But slowly they forgot that message and the shirk came among them. And there is a story about the historians, the scholars have written about that, how shirk came among them. So they became mushrikeen. And they started worshipping many gods, Allat and Al-Uzza and Manat and Hubal and all of these gods and goddesses that they had. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and told them that you go back to your religion of your father Ibrahim alayhi salam. Millata abikum Ibrahim. It is your father Ibrahim, you follow that. And don't do the shirk. And he preached them the message of Tawheed. And but what happened? That Kaaba at that time was full of idols. It's Kaaba that was established as a place of worship of one God, that was done by Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Ismail alayhi salam. Slowly they started bringing idols inside the Kaaba. Idols and idols and idols. So some stories say there were 360 idols. Each tribe had its own idol there. Like a United Nation of idols. All kind of idols were there in that. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to start preaching the message of Tawheed, and he told them, this is not the way of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him the prophet at the age of 40. He started preaching the message, and he did that 13 years. And they became against him. And they wanted to kill him. So he migrated from Mecca to Medina. And he was in Medina preaching the message, and the battles took place between the Meccans and the people of Medina. And alhamdulillah, the Prophet was successful in defeating the enemies. And then he came back to Mecca and recaptured Mecca. And that's called Fath Mecca. After the Fath Mecca, actually it is before that, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made obligatory upon the people to make Hajj. So Hajj was there, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made in the 6th year of Hijrah, Hajj became obligatory. The Prophet did not go there because still Makkah was under the control of the pagans, under the control of the Quraysh. So he did not go, but some people went there. And later, after Fath Makkah, also he sent Ali radiallahu anhu, he sent some others. But one in the 10th year of Hijrah, as I was mentioning today in the khutbah, in the 10th year of Hijrah, he made the Hajj. And he made the Hajj and he told them how to perform the Hajj. Now let me go back to the Kaaba. Kaaba is known today as, it is a murabba, huh? It is a square. But actually Ibrahim alayhi salam did not make it that way. During the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam, it was long on one direction. And when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born, around that time there was a lady brought some perfume. And she was burning some perfume inside the Kaaba, and it caught fire. So there was some part was damaged. And then flood came, and flood destroyed some more part. So the Meccans decided to rebuild the Kaaba. At that time, the Prophet ﷺ was about 35 years old. So he helped them building the Kaaba. And when they were raising the foundation, the walls, there is a place came where you have to put the Hajar Aswad. Hajar Aswad was given to Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam, which came from Jannah. And the Prophet said it was white, but it became black because of the sins of the human being. So Hajar Aswad, known as Hajar Aswad now, it was Hajar Abiyaz. And that's Ibrahim alayhi salam put it in one of the walls. Actually, there are two stones, very historic stones. One is Hajar Aswad, black stone, and the other is Maqam Ibrahim. Maqam Ibrahim is also from Jannah. Yaqutatani min yawaqit al-Jannah. The Prophet said in one of the hadith, these are the two jewels from the jewels of paradise. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he was building the Kaaba, he would stand on a stone. And this stone will go up as the wall was going up. And his son Ismail would give him the stones. This is what brick by brick he was putting there. And whenever he had to speak, he used to stand on that. And he was standing on that stone when he made the announcement for Hajj. And there are footprints of Ibrahim alayhi salam on that stone. And that's called Maqam Ibrahim. So there is Rukn and there is Maqam. Rukn is place of Hajar Aswad. Maqam is the place of the stone of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And it was very close to Kaaba. It's still there, but now it is covered with a crystal covering. So if you can look at it, you can see the stone there, and you can see the footprints. That's the Kaaba, and on this side is the Hajar Aswad. This is the door of the Kaaba, and this is the crystal covering. Inside is the Maqam Ibrahim. So people can see that. Of course, you are not supposed to kiss it like Hajar Aswad. You are not supposed to do anything. Just you can look at it. It's a great historic thing, 4,000 years apart, and this is from a stone from the stones of paradise. So this is called Maqam Ibrahim, and these are, you can see that, the steps of Ibrahim alayhi salam, yeah? Prints of his steps. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he built the Kaaba, and it is mentioned that it was in the time of Ismail alayhi salam that they started putting the kiswa, the covering of the Kaaba. The covering of the Kaaba was not always black. Sometimes it was covered with white, sometimes it was covered with green, sometimes it was covered with red. Then later, during the Osmani period, it became black covering. And now it's always black covering. So you see that it's not that Kaaba is always covered with black. It was black and all those things. So you have that. Yeah, this is the covering. And this covering is changed once a year. Now, it used to be changed 2 or 3 times a year, but now it's changed once a year. And there is a factory in Mecca where this cover is prepared. So it's Masna al-Kiswa. It used to be until 1972, it used to come from Egypt. But then there was a problem between Saudi Arabia and Egypt. So it was decided by King Faisal that we are not going to have kiswa from Egypt, we are going to make it our own. So they established a factory and started making their own kiswa, and now the kiswa is from there. It's expensive. It has a lot of gold and a lot of silk and all of these things are there. And then every year it is changed, and then they cut into pieces and give it to Hujjaj. Some of the dignitaries, they come, some diplomats and others, some of scholars and ulama, they receive part of it. I have a part of it I was given when I attended a conference. So people sometimes they take it to their homes and put it. And the same thing is also this covering of the door of the Kaaba. This is also given to various masajid. You have at Masjid Omar in Los Angeles, they have a covering of the real covering, not something that is made, but is the real covering. You have that. So covering of the Kaaba is also a very important thing. And so this is really a lot of history. You have that. Then you also have the Haram. Haram is a mosque that was built around the Kaaba. And this is the largest mosque in the world. And this mosque has been, people were expanding it. And now the latest expansion will make it that almost 2 million people can pray inside. 2 million people. And it has several floors. And Mataf is the area of Tawaf. Mataf has also become very large, and almost 100,000 people can make Tawaf at the same time. So in every year, every hour, almost 100,000 people make Tawaf. And there are 3 levels of Tawaf as well. Tawaf is done on the ground floor, Tawaf is done on the second floor, and Tawaf is done on the top floor. So Tawaf is there. And then there are also Zamzam. The Zamzam that was there, because that was the only well. And people really don't know what is the source, from where this water comes. Thousands and thousands of gallons of water every day is coming. What is source, from where it's coming? Still, it's a mystery from where it comes. And people try to, it's not very deep. And it used to be a well. They used to draw from the bucket. I remember in '62 when I went there as a student, at that time we used to have buckets. And I drew the water from there and drink it. So you could see the well. Now you don't see the well. It is now underground. And they had it on the ground for some time. People go by steps and under and see it and drink the water. But now it's totally covered. So only thing that you see it is the water is by the Zamzam well. All right? So this is the old. Now you don't have it that. You can go underneath and just see that. And you could see the well. And there was some faucet from where the water come, and people would make wudu and drink it. But now it's no more there. The only thing you have it in all different places. And it's all over the haram. They put jars of water. Some of them are cool by ice cold, and some of them are regular temperature. And these are the jars from where you can have it. You have plastic cups, used cups, clean cups, all of this, they have that. So this is available. And a lot of people come and take the water. The water is outside of the haram also, faucets. People fill their jars and take it home. Or they wash their shrouds, kafan. And they do all kinds of things with that. So water is now sent all over the world. and still the water is there. And this water has its own taste and its own qualities. And this water is a miraculous water. Of course, Mecca has other sources of water as well. In the time of Harun Rashid, Zubaydah, his wife, she brought from Taif a nahar called Nahar Zubaydah, and that was another supply of water. But now they desalinate the water. And so water is plenty in Mecca, alhamdulillah. So these are some of the important things you have that in the city of. Now, city of Mecca is also has other important places. One of them is in the northern side, about 3 miles out of the city, is cave of Hira, where the Prophet ﷺ was, and it's also known as Jabal Nur, where the Prophet ﷺ used to go, and there Jibreel alayhi salam came and gave him the message, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. On the southern side is another cave known as Ghar Thawr. Ghar Thawr is the cave, in which the Prophet and his companion Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu were, they took refuge, they hid themselves for 3 days, and then after that left for Medina. So Medina is north of Mecca, but the Prophet ﷺ went to south to confuse his enemies, because enemies, they knew that he was going to go to Mecca, to Medina. So they were going to go towards north, but they didn't. But the Prophet went to the south, so they did not find out. Although they sent some people, they were almost there, very close to the cave but they could not find him. So these are some of the ma'alim, some of the important places. The graveyard of the people of Mecca is called Jannatul Ma'la, where Khadija radiallahu ta'ala is buried, other companions of the Prophet are buried, and so it is also the graveyard of the people of Mecca. So Mecca is a historic place. It is a great city. Nowadays, city is large. Its population is almost 3-4 million. So it has grown a lot. And it has university, it has colleges, it has other facilities. You have that in the city of Mecca. And then you have the biggest, tallest tower that they have made. They call Burj Mecca. And you have a big clock there. And the malls and all of these things, whether you consider that good or not consider good, but it is there. All right? So that's the way the city of Mecca is. So Hujjaj, when they go, they come to the city of Mecca. They find some place for their stay, hotels or other places, and then after that they come to Haram, and the first thing they do is that they make tawaf. So tawaf is a very important ritual. For whether you make Umrah or you make Hajj, you have to make tawaf. In order to make tawaf, you need ihram, and ihram has a place outside Mecca. There are places called miqat, and from the miqat you put on ihram for men. For women, it's intention. Women don't have to change their clothes. They can have their own modest clothes, but men have to put on ihram. And with this ihram, they come to Mecca, and then they say labbaik Allahumma labbaik, and then they make tawaf. So it's tawaf. Tawaf starts from Hajar Aswad. That's the area, from Hajar Aswad. If you are near, you can touch it and kiss it. If you are not there, then you can, anywhere, you can stand in front of Hajar Aswad, and then you point towards it and say Allahu Akbar, and then move. And you move this way, counterclockwise. So this is Hajar Aswad, in a silver covering, and this is the kiswa. They are changing the kiswa, so you can see that some of the walls are open, and you go there. And this is the door of the Kaaba. The door of the Kaaba is not on the ground level. You have to take a ladder, so the door is little high. Why they put that way? So that common people will not just go inside. So you need a special thing to go there. So, and this was later that was done. So you have that, and then see, this is the Rukn al-Hajar. This is the corner for the Hajar Aswad, and this is called Rukn Shami. And then after that you have Rukn Iraqi, and then you have Rukn Yamani. Rukn Yamani also has a stone. And if you are near it, you can touch it. If you don't, not near it, then you don't do anything. You don't say Allahu Akbar or anything, but you go there. And you are between this Rukn Yamani and Rukn al-Hajar, you can say, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. And here is Multazam, the place where people hug the Kaaba and make dua for themselves. And they stand under the door of the Kaaba and holding it and praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that ana fi a'adbati babik, multazimun bi'atabik. Allah, I'm holding the steps of your door, and I'm asking you, begging you to pray to bless me and bless my family. And it is permissible to do that. Other places, you are not supposed to do this iltizam. Only thing is that you can touch part of the Kaaba, but you cannot do that. Only in Multazam you do that. Now this area is, on this area is called Hatim, or Hijr Ismail. You don't see that. Have you have a picture of that? Yeah. You can see that. So when the people go make tawaf, they go around this way. You are not supposed to go from inside. But inside, if you go to, you can pray. This is really part of Kaaba. So Kaaba was not, when they were building, the Arabs, when they were building it, they shortened it. They said they did not have enough funds. So they leave that place, but they have put a marking. It's like a crystal shaped marking, and people can stand there. So it's called Hatim. So that's what tawaf is done. After the tawaf is done, then people go, drink some water, and then they go and Safa and Marwa. So it is Kaaba here, and this is Safa and Marwa. So Safa is close to Haram, and a little further is Marwa. Between Safa and Marwa there is 450 meter distance. And you have to start from Safa, go up little on the hill, and then you say, Inna Safa wal Marwa min sha'airillah, and then you go down towards Marwa. And so one round is that you go from Safa to Marwa. Second is from Marwa to Safa. So 7 times you do that. And altogether it's almost 2 miles. And now they have made it very wide. It used to be people used to go walk in the street and shops on the both sides. But now there's no shops, it's all part of the Haram, and it has very nice floor, air conditioned, fans and all those things. You can see that. You can wide area, one way for going, another way for coming. In between, there is a place for wheels, chairs for those who cannot walk. They have wheelchairs. If you go on top on the 3rd floor, you have motor rails. You can drive yourself. So they do that. So it's okay. It's permissible to ride on something. So that is, and there are several floors. Ground floor, underground floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor. So there are actually 4 floors for Mas'a. Mas'a is the place of Sa'i. So Sa'i is also in remembrance of Hajra, radiallahu ta'ala anha. Because she is the one who ran between Safa and Marwa, praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking water for her, for herself, for her child. And Allah granted that. So that's what people do. And then there is an area called Milaini Akhdarain. See that? This light, green light, and there is another green light. Between these two, you have to almost run between these two. Because this was deeper valley, and she was not able to see the sun, so she was running. And that the Hujjaj do that, remembering Hajra radiallahu ta'ala. After you finish the Sa'i, if you are doing Umrah, your Umrah is done. Then you can clip your hair or shave the hair of your head, and take off your ihram. And if you are Haji and you want to continue with your ihram, then you don't do that. And the Hajj time, just like today, 8th of the Hajj, the Hujjaj who are there, and especially those who come from outside of Mecca, they do that. They make tawaf, and then after that they go to Mina. So we go, that's the first thing. At the time of Hajj, 8th of the Hajj, people go to Mina. So Mina is about 4 miles, between 4 to 6 miles outside of Mecca, on the eastern direction, east of Mecca. It is also a very historic place. Mina is in a valley, and on the other side of the valley is called Wadi Muhassir. Wadi Muhassir is the wadi where Abraha's armies came to attack Kaaba. And that's why the Prophet said, don't go there. If you go past by Wadi Muhassir, pass fast. But that's not included in Mina. So there is a boundary line. And people go and spend, first time on the 8th of the Hajj, they are in Mina. Why Mina is called Mina? It is because since the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam, later, people used to sacrifice animals. Biha tumna dima. The bloods are shed there. That means the blood of sacrifice. The sacrifices are made there. So that's why it is a place of sacrifice. So that's why its name is Mina. So Mina has Manhar, the place of sacrifice, and Mina also has Jamarat. That is the places where people throw stones. Not on the 8th, but they come back from Arafat and they do that. And Mina also has a big masjid called Masjid Khaif. And that is the place where the Prophet ﷺ stayed. And when he came back from Arafah, he stayed in Masjid Khaif. It's a big masjid, huge masjid. And some people stay there, and people go there to pray, 5 prayers. So the Mina is 8th of the Hajj, Yom al-Tarwiyah. They go to Mina. And then from Mina, next day, that means tomorrow, the Hujjaj will be doing that, 9th of the Hajj, they go from Mina to Arafah. So from Mina to Arafah is about 10 miles. And now you have trains, very nice trains. Can you see that? These are automatic trains, electric trains. This is the area of Arafah. The various bridges and all this take you there from Mina to Arafah. Now you can go by train, you can go by bus, you can go by car, you can walk. So there is a road called Tariqul Mushat, the way for people who want to walk. And this is perhaps the largest, the longest road for walkers. Longest road in the world for people who want to walk. And it's very nice, covered to protect people from sunshine. And it has chairs in both directions, and also cool water. Zamzam water is available there. So a lot of people walk. 10 miles. Those who are young, sturdy, and they can walk, they walk. And actually, before the trains came, it was used to be very difficult to go from Mina to Arafah. Sometimes it would take 5 or 6 hours. 10 miles for 5 or 6 hours. So people say, why to go there? Let us go and walk. The people just walk. And they come to Arafah. And Arafah, that is the valley of Arafah. It's a huge valley. Of course, it has its boundaries, so one cannot go. In this valley, you have this here called Jabal al-Rahmah, the mountain of mercy. The Prophet ﷺ stood there and prayed. And one of the names of this mountain is also Jabal al-Du'a, the mountain of dua. So a lot of people go there and make dua. Or you don't have to. You can do dua from your own khayma, from your tent, but people go there. And there are tents put in, because it's the daytime, it's hot, So they put tents in Arafah. And there are not too many buildings. It's all tents. So it's a tent city. So people come morning. You can come from Zuhr time and leave by Maghrib time. And actually, if you miss that, you can be in Arafah until the next morning, Fajr time. And if somebody passes before that, its Hajj is good. But its best time is from Zuhr until sunset. So Hujjaj come there. They come there and then they pray Zuhr and Asr together. Jama and Qasr. And this Qasr is because of Hajj. So 2 rakah Zuhr and 2 rakah Asr. And before this prayer, there is a khutbah that is given by the Imam in the masjid of Arafat. And the masjid of Arafat is called Nimrah. Masjid al-Nimrah or Masjid Ibrahim al-Khalil. One of the name of the city is Masjid Ibrahim al-Khalil. And there are many people go there in this masjid and Masjid Namira. So they go and pray here. As you see that big masjid. And you don't need to, I mean, you don't have to go. Not every Haji goes there, but still thousands and thousands go there. Many people pray in their own tent. So when we go with the Dar es Salaam, there is a prayer in our own tents, and one of us, especially the imams, are taken there. They ask them to give the khutbah, and then they have the prayer. The khutbah is given. After that, there is adhan and iqamah, and then they pray Zuhr and Asr, like anytime, without any loud qira'ah. There is no jahr in that salat. And there is no Jum'ah. When you are in Arafat, there is no Jum'ah. Although sometimes Hajj is on Jum'ah, but you don't pray Jum'ah there. The only thing, you have your salat for Hajj and the khutbah for Hajj at that time. So it is, so Arafah is a value. Why it is called Arafah? There are several explanations. It's called Arafah, some people say, because they say when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down Adam alayhi salam and his wife Hawa alayhi salam, Adam came and Hawa came, and there they met. Ta'arafa, they met each other. Adam and Hawa. So our parents, they met there. So they had their association, their union after coming from heaven to earth. Another meaning of Arafah is that Ibrahim alayhi salam, Jibreel came and took Ibrahim alayhi salam and showed him the places. What to do in Arafah. And every time he'll say, Arafta, Arafta, Arafta. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? So that's why it's called Arafah. So that's another explanation. The third explanation is, this is the place where people come from all over. Yata'arafun. They know each other. They meet each other. So it's the place of gathering and meeting. Another thing is, they say Arafah is from Urf. And Urf is perfume. So it is like Maidan Hashra. Huh? It is like the area where the people will be gathering on the day of resurrection. So it is expecting that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them the perfume of paradise. So there are beautiful explanations for the place of Arafah. So you call it Arafah, or they call it Arafat. Arafah and Arafat is the same thing. The time is called Arafah, and the place is Arafat. Arafat is also a name. So this is, they spend the day in Arafah. Come at noontime, they have prayer, Dhuhr and Asr, then they have lunch. After lunch, they take some rest, and then they stand up and make dua. Actually, it's called Wuquf Arafah. Wuquf does not mean that you have to stand up. If you cannot stand up, you can have chair. It's okay. Some people have chairs, but it's still called Wuquf. That means staying in Arafah. And staying in Arafah is until Ghurub time. But you don't pray Maghrib there. Even the time of Maghrib came, but you don't pray Maghrib. And after the Maghrib, after the sunset, without praying Maghrib, you leave. It's called Nafir. Now leaving. So you say leave. So people, everybody is just moving out of Arafah, And what they do, they go to Muzdalifah. Muzdalifah is between Mina and Arafah. So when you are coming from Mina to Arafah, you pass by Muzdalifah. So now the train can take you. You go to train station and then go from there, and the next stop is Muzdalifah. At Muzdalifah, people will go down. Muzdalifah means yazdalifun yabitu. They're coming back to spend the night there. Izdilaf is spending the night. So they spend the night in that place. And this is the place where you have a big masjid called Al-Mash'ar al-Haram. فَإِذَا أَفَضْتُم مِّنْ عَرَفَاتٍ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ عِنْدَ الْمَشْعَرِ الْحَرَامِ. When you return from Arafat, stop at a place called Mash'ar al-Haram. So Mash'ar al-Haram is the masjid. Around the masjid, people stay. And there are parking spots where people park their cars, their buses, and in between there is the area where they sit down. And there is no tent, there is no building. So everybody is without any covering. So you experience homelessness. You have nothing. And like a lot of poor people, they don't have anything. And people just lie down on the ground. And there are places for toilet facilities, wudu facilities. People go and make wudu, people use the toilet, and they pray Maghrib and Isha. As soon as they arrive in Madinah, they pray Maghrib and Isha together. And they collect pebbles. The pebbles that they are going to throw on the Jamarat next day, they collect from there. I mean, you don't have to collect from there, but a lot of people collect from there because it's easy to collect from there. It's a lot of pebbles, and they collect them. Each person will collect either 49 pebbles or 72 pebbles. 70 pebbles, yeah, they collect that. Because you can do it either 2 days or 3 days. So that is, and then it is required to spend the whole night in Muzdalifah. It is wajib. A lot of people ignore that. It is wajib to stay the whole night. The only people who are allowed to leave after midnight are women, or old people, or sick people. If somebody is sick, somebody is old and weak, and women, they are allowed to leave after midnight. And because they need somebody who can help them, so those who are helping them, they can also go. But those people who are healthy, they have to stay. And they pray Fajr, and after Fajr they leave. So the best thing is to spend the whole night. You can sleep and get up early and make the Tahajjud, pray, and then you pray Fajr early, and then leave after that. And you can take a train, about 4 miles from there. Take a train from Muzdalifah to Mina. So back to Mina. We started on the 8th day, like today. We started from Mina, and off on the 10th day, after Fajr, 10th day of Hajj, you come back to Mina. And you go back to your tent from where you started. And there are several things that you can do, you have to do on this day. That is the 10th of the Hajj, which is our Eid day. But they don't have Eid. Hajj don't have Eid. Their Eid is those things that they are doing. So there is no Eid prayers in Mina. Eid prayer is for those who are not making Hajj. So they come, and what they do, the first thing is they go to Jamra. One Jamra only today. I call Jamratul Uqba. So they go there to that Jamra, and there they throw 7 pebbles. Why? Jamra means the place of gathering. And there is a small wall that is made there. Muzdalifah night, yeah. You see that everybody is lying there in the open area. And then they come to the 10th of the Hajj. And this is, now they made a wall. It used to be a small pillar, but now they made it a wall. So it's easy, nobody can miss that. And you are supposed to go, and there is a circle there which hold the carriage. So you see, you have thousands and millions of people. Everybody is throwing 7 pebbles. It becomes a mountain of pebbles. So they collect pebbles, chickpea size, and they throw there. And there are three jamras: Jamratul Ula, Jamratul Wusta, Jamratul Uqba. The first one, the second one, third one. Now, sometimes people call it shaitan. Shaitan 1, shaitan 2, the chota shaitan, middle shaitan, and the big shaitan. Shaitan Buzurg, as written there in the Farsi language, they call it shaitan Buzurg. So there is no such thing as shaitan there. It's not shaitan. Its only thing is to do the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and throw the pebbles. So pebbles are zikr of Allah. And we, when do come to the Eid day, what we do? We do takbirat. And Hujjaj do the Rami. Ibn Taymiyyah rahmallah said, Rami is the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why they do it? In the remembrance of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he was taking his son for sacrifice, shaitan appeared to him. That's the most famous tradition said that. Shaitan appeared to him and told him not to do that. And he threw stones upon him, casted shaitan away from him. So he said, Ridhan li-Rahman, Rajman li-Shaitan. To please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, turn away the shaitan. That's one thing. The other, some other scholars say, this is Wadi Muhassar area, close to Wadi Muhassar. And this is the place where Abraha's army came to attack the Kaaba. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Ababil, the birds, and the birds pelted them with stone, tarmihim bihijaratin min sijil. So you are remembering that. How those people who came to dishonor the Kaaba and destroy the Kaaba, how they were destroyed. And you are making a pledge that you are going to protect the Kaaba of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you are going to devote yourself to the Kaaba. So some scholars say it is a remembrance of the event that is mentioned in Surah Al-Fil. Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. Alam yaj'al kaydahum fi tadlil wa arsala alayhim tayran ababil. Now, by the way, ababil is not the name of the bird. Some people think that ababil is like a small swallow. No. Ababil means swarm, a large number. Tayr. Our Mufassirin says, Tayr, these birds were like vultures. Terrible birds. Their faces were like the beast faces. And their feet were like the dog's feet. So these are vultures that came. And these are the ones they're carrying stones. And they throw upon them. And then they ate their bodies after that. So that's why Allah has mentioned that. Ababil does not mean a small bird. Ababil means swarms, majmu'a min al-tayr. So these are the birds that came and they destroyed. Some people say this is a remembrance of that. And but the most famous one is, now this Jamarat, large number of people come. And that's why there used to be a lot of accidents. That stampede used to take place. Because in a small area, people are going and coming in the same direction. Now they have nice big open area and several floors, 4 floors. So there, you come from a distance and come all the way, and you can take elevators, escalators, and then you have several levels. And the big roads, they can take thousands and thousands of people. And then you stand on the bridge, and you see almost like an ocean of people coming to throw the stones. So on the 10th, 11th, and 12th, Jamarat become very busy. So people spend the time in Mina, do this Rami, and the second thing they do is they go and make sacrifice. So there is manhar in Mina, the place of sacrifice. And there are a lot of lambs there. A lot of people used to go, and still they go, and they do their own sacrifice, buy the lamb and make a sacrifice, or camel you can buy and make a sacrifice. But nowadays, there are also agencies that do the sacrifice on their behalf. So the IDB, Islamic Development Bank, has established places. And people pay about 500 riyals or so, for sacrifice, and they give them the receipt, and they do that. What sacrifice you are doing? Are you doing the sacrifice for Hajj, or you doing the sacrifice for them? That means you made some mistake, and you're doing like a fidya for that. So that's all of these things, and they make sacrifice on your behalf. So you don't have to do it. So people don't have to. Not everybody makes sacrifice, although they pay because it's required. If you are doing Hajj Tamattu or Hajj Qiran, then you must make sacrifice. Hajj Ifrad, you don't need that. So these are some rules of that, of sacrifice, and they do that. Jamarat, these are the Jamarat. This is Masjid al-Khayf in Mina, as we talk about. This is the place of Udhaya, sacrifice, where nowadays, I mean, people used to do that. I remember in '62, there was no such thing. So we used to go and buy the animal and make sacrifice, and what we are going to do with that? So we just leave it there. And we were walking over the bodies of the sheep and all those things. And it used to smell, the whole area. So now, alhamdulillah, things are being much more organized. So there are the bodies of the animals were taken immediately, and people clean them, prepare the meat. If somebody wants to take the meat, they can take the meat. Otherwise, this meat is frozen, packed, and sent to poor countries in Africa and Asia and other places. So it's really within a short period of time, the planes take it to different places. Alhamdulillah, the meat is used, it's not wasted. Otherwise, in the old days, they used to bring a bulldozer and bury all that, thousands and thousands of sheep, they were buried under the ground. So now they are using that meat. So after that sacrifice, you can see that people are having their hair shaved. So people are sitting there, and this is in their tents. Anyway, they have a lot of barbers, they help the people. Or people can do it to each other, they also can do that. So either you trim the hair or you shave the hair, you do that. So you have jamra, and then after that you have sacrifice, and then you have the halq or qasra, that means shaving or trimming the hair. Then people go and take a shower and put on their regular clothes, took off the ihram. So they are almost Hajis now. So then after that they spend, either they go the same day to Mecca and make tawaf. And this is called tawaf al-ifada. It is the obligatory tawaf. So they go to Mecca, make tawaf, and then come back to Mina again and spend the night in Mina. And you are supposed to spend the night in Mina and spend the day, 11th day and the 12th day of the Hajj in Mina. And in these days, you go to Jamarat, 3 Jamarat, 7, 7, 7 to 21 pebbles you throw. First day only 7, and the second day 21, third day 21. That's why you have 49. And then you throw these pebbles, and in the evening there are very nice programs, lectures, and discussions, and meeting with the people, and all of these things. So it's a kind of a celebration. People do that. As the Prophet said, these are yam akli mashurb. This is the days of eating and enjoying some halal drinks. So you do that. So that's people do that. So there are beautiful, buffets that are prepared, and nice meal is there. So you have that, and meet with people. Then on the 12th you can leave if you want to. Man ta'ajjala fi yawmayn fala isma alayhi wa man ta'akhkhara fala isma alayhi liman ittaqa. Allah says you can leave it after 2 days, or you can stay. So you can leave on the 12th after Asr prayer. So you throw the pebbles and go back to Mecca. Or you are stay another day, 13th, and then you go after throwing the pebbles in the afternoon, then you go back to Mecca. You go back to Mecca, and when you arrive in Mecca, you do, if you are planning to leave, and go back to your home on the 13th or 14th, then you make another tawaf. And this tawaf is known tawaf al-wada', which is required for those who make Hajj. It is not required for those who make Umrah. But those who make Hajj, it is required. That should do that. So people go and make tawaf. And tawaf al-wada. And once they make tawaf al-wada, they can go home. And they are now Hajjis. If they want to go to Medina, they can go to Medina. So some people go to Medina before, some people go to Medina after. But as I said, Hajj is not in Medina. Hajj is in Mecca. So this is a short history of those places, a tour of those places. Now there are many details, the rules and regulations, what you can do, what you cannot do. We have not covered that. Inshallah, when you plan to go to Hajj, we'll do that, inshallah. Barakallahu fikum. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. And thank Brother Shai preparing all these slides, mashallah. Nice pictures, mashallah. All done? Are there any more pictures that you want to? Yeah, good. So questions and comments.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
استووا واستقيموا واعتدلوا ترى صوتنا ورمز الله أكبر الله الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار ربنا إنك من تدخل النار فقد أخزيته وما للظالمين من أنصار ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يسألك الناس عن الساعة قل إنما علمها عند الله وما يدريك لعل الساعة تكون قريبا إن الله لعن الكافرين وأعد لهم سعيرا خالدين فيها أبدا لا يجدون وليا ولا نصيرا يوم تقلب وجوههم في النار يقولون يا ليتنا أطعنا الله وأطعنا الرسولا وقالوا ربنا إنا أطعنا سادتنا وكبراءنا فأضلونا السبيلا ربنا آتهم ضعفين من العذاب والعنهم لعنا كبيرا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. If you are for the Qiyam program, the program will start at 9:45 inshallah.